Do you believe the taxpayer has a right to know how you spend their money?
Senator, Dr. Paul, thank you for that question. We, in the Office of Entrepreneurial Development, our purview is helping our small business navigate through their taxes. We're not in tax policy. So we
No,
do-
no, we're not talking about tax policy. I'm talking about the citizens. Do the citizens of the United States have a right to know how you're spending their money?
Well, in our area, we're focused on developing entrepreneurs.
No, no, this is a transparency question. Do you think the citizens of the United States, through their representatives, have a right to get information from you and your department about how you're spending the money?
My purview is to assist our resource partner network and the community.
It's sort of a yes or no. I don't think you're getting the question. It's a real simple question. The answer is yes, of course the citizens do, but you can't say that?
I can attest to what we're doing at the Office of Entrepreneurial Development.
No, but I mean, it's a more general question. Do the citizens of the United States have the right to know how you are spending their money?
Dr. Paul, I can shine the light on what we're doing at OED. And, in terms of tax preparation, materials that we
Now,
have.
this is a really general question just on transparency. Do the citizens of the United States, through their representative, have the right to ask questions about how you're spending their money?
I'm here to answer any questions that you have on the Office of Entrepreneurial.
It's a yes or no. Can you acknowledge that, yes, citizens have a right and an expectation to know how their money is spent by organizations? That's why you come here. It's for oversight. It's a very general question. It's not accusing you of anything. It's just saying, do citizens have the right to know how you're spending their money?
Dr. Paul, I would love to just shed some more light on the Office of Entrepreneurial Development.
But you can't answer whether or not citizens have the right to know how you're spending the money.
I'd be happy to talk about our tax preparation classes with our resource partners.
But you can't acknowledge, yes or no, whether citizens have the right and the expectation through their representatives, Republicans and Democrats, to ask you for information on how money is spent. That's a yes or no question. It's a very basic question about transparency, but I'm not hearing you answer yes or no.
Dr. Paul, would love to tell you more about what we're doing at the Office of Entrepreneurial Development. I'm energized to be here and talk about our programs throughout the country.
But this sounds like you're obfuscating the issue and you're not willing to answer that there is sunlight and that you're open to any kind of scrutiny by representatives as to how you're spending the money. You don't believe that citizens have the right to understand how you're spending money and to ask questions through their representatives about how you spend the money?
Dr. Paul, I'm here to answer any questions that you have on.
But I'm asking you, do citizens have the right to know that? And you're giving me some other answer that isn't an answer to the question. This is a question, do citizens have the right to expect you to answer questions about how your money is spent?
Dr. Paul, I'm here to answer any questions that you have on the fulfillment of our OED programs that include the resource partner footprint, the community navigator.
Let the record know that the witness is refusing to answer a very basic question about transparency. The reason I ask this question is we sent you questions back in the beginning of the summer about the Community Navigator program. These are not political questions that I know of. How many organizations applied for funds under the Community Navigators program? That question was asked in the beginning of last summer. We asked again in November, and we haven't had answers. I think your staff decided to send us some piece of paper today or yesterday, still not answering that question. What's the geographic distribution of states and localities covered by each grantee? These are not even politically charged questions that we sometimes encounter, but you can't even answer whether or not citizens have an expectation to get answers from you, and then when we ask questions, you don't answer them. That to me is serious breach of your duty as a civil servant. You can't answer a question on sunlight, and then when we send you written questions of an objective nature, you refuse to answer the questions. You don't even respond to us. I mean, that is utterly contemptuous and disregarding of representative government.
Dr. Paul, we did answer your letter, so I would be happy to answer.
When was the answer? When was the questions answered?
We will get back to your office, but I know that we answered.
No, the questions that I just asked you, the two questions, we got something yesterday or today from your office when you knew you were going to be here and have to answer some questions. You resisted for months sending any answer, but you still haven't answered the two questions that I just outlined. I do not believe we've got an answer for either one of those questions.
Well, Dr. Paul, we believe in transparency, and we did respond to your question.
No more questions.
Let me point out, I believe the Community Navigator program started in December, so it's a relatively new program. So the information is just, I think, becoming available in a way that it's going to be meaningful for us to be able to obtain the type of information that Senator Paul has requested. Senator Hickenlooper?
Make sure that that thermostat's above 78 degrees. Still feels cool beyond words. I walked in at 78 degrees and felt like I needed a jacket. Just to turn down a light or turn down a thermometer and not use a large appliance, we would not be in the position we are today. So we're encouraging folks again tonight. We're looking well over 50,000 megawatts. Again, we hit just shy of 52,000, which was record breaking yesterday. Over 50,000 tonight. Looks like, based on the moment projection, this changes hourly, another 50 tomorrow night as well. So still work to be done. Let's now run the 90-yard dash. Everybody's done an incredible job getting us through this, and we'll do our part to make sure we never have to go through this again, and that's the continued transition to more battery storage, continued transition to more energy and backup supplies, new strategic reserve that we got through the legislature. Some $4.2 billion was just passed. Will provide an additional 4,000 megawatts by 2024. The batteries have proven to be extraordinarily successful. We've provided upwards of 4,000 megawatts just in the last 2.5 years of new battery storage, and they've been working. That's, by the way, 10x where we were just 3 years ago, and that's been determinative in terms of getting us through. Of course, we're dealing not just with heat, but drought, about 1,500 megawatts down just in hydroelectricity. And so it's the combination of all of these things stacking up in the unprecedented nature that puts us in this position. A position, again, not unique to California, Southwest, experiencing record-breaking temperatures as well. With that, of course, happy to take questions.
First off, nice outfit.
Thanks. Yeah.
In
Forgive me, I didn't even know. Now I get it.
So, in terms of the text message that went out,
Yeah.
we saw an actual drop-off after that happened. Can you talk about the decision to send that message out and the danger of doing that too often?
Yeah. Well, 27 million of those text messages went out. And within 45 minutes, we saw roughly 2,600 megawatt reduction in usage. Had that not happened, we would have had some episodic load reduction. That was extraordinary. The challenge is, you're right, you overuse that, it begins to dilute itself. And so I'm hoping we don't have to do that again. If we do that again, please take it seriously. We don't do that lightly. In fact, we spent the last 4 or 5 days debating the merits and demerits. I'm being fully candid with you of even doing so. And then it was a decision that we needed to make in order to test the theory that this could be a game changer, and it turns out it was.
Should Californians be preparing for rolling blackouts tonight through Saturday, and what should they do to prepare?
Well, do everything you've done. People have been extraordinary. I mean, by setting pre-cooling your home, it's the most important thing. When you're at work, just pre-cool the home. Close the drapes to the extent you can, or blinds, and pre-cool your home, and make sure that that thermostat's above 78 degrees. Still feels cool beyond words. I walked in at 78 degrees and felt like I needed a jacket because of the distinction between the elements outside and on the inside. And just don't use the largest appliances to the extent you can. I get it. Look, we're asking people during those peak hours. And the peak hours, we talk about 4 to 9. Peak hours we're really focused on, and I don't want to dilute the 4 to 9, but 6 to 7 last night was really the pivotal hour where those text messages went out, people reduced energy, and they got us through. So we're hoping, again, we don't have to send the text message again tonight, but keep doing what you've done, 1 or 2 more nights of this, and we will turn the page, and we will fast track, as we've been doing at historic levels, our transition with the reliability everyone deserves.